The Oscar Pistorius case has dominated world headlines and attention for almost 2 years now, but there are still many questions about what exactly happened on Valentine's Day 2013. One of the people following the case is journalist, author and TV host Aphrodite Jones. She's the host of True Crime with Aphrodite Jones, which viewers can watch on the Vzaar ID channel on DSTV. Aphrodite, thanks very much for your time. What's the purpose of your visit to South Africa?
I'm actually looking at the Pistorius case from a different angle. One of the things that I'm interested to do is to bring it to the United States. Believe it or not, as much coverage as there is and has been, the average American does not know anything about the true facts, does not know, for example, anything about the emails or the letters or the things that the correspondence that was going on between Riva and Oscar. There's a large belief in the new book by June Steenkamp that perhaps they didn't even have a relationship. It's just not clear to Americans also what happened in the justice system here. They feel as though the justice system just failed, and I am not so sure that's the case.
It was a very interesting trial. I mean, it was billed as our version of the O.J. Simpson trial. Here you have a world famous international athlete, a beautiful girlfriend, and she is killed. You know, we knew that Oscar shot and killed her, but it was about the circumstances and possibly the motive as well. So a lot of people in South Africa getting to understand the justice system for the first time. And we see that it was widely covered and followed in America. What was it like following it from your country?
It was covered, but in bits and pieces. We didn't have full-on coverage. So the average American doesn't know how do I put it? The real story, the full story, as you do. That's one element. The other element that's important, is the actual decision by the court. The decision by the court here to give him a reduced sentence, if you will, isn't all that, how do I put it, unusual based on American justice system, because it's very difficult to prove that he knew that she was behind that door, and therein lies the rub. Although we all know from common sense that he had to know she was behind that door. In order to prove it in a court of law is a very different thing. So people believe that he got away with murder, and he may well have, but how can you absolutely definitively say that he knew it was her and that his bullets through that door would absolutely kill her? So those are the two questions that are still on the table, and the prosecution coming back to say, well, regardless, he knew that his bullets going through that door would kill a person, would equal then the harsher charge that they're now going for, is going to be an interesting question legally.
You mentioned the books that have been written on this. My own colleagues, Barry Bateman and Mandy Wiener, they've written a book as well. June Steenkamp's book, a number of other journalists also looking into the matter. And I think it just shows the intrigue that's behind this case, what really happened. You know, what was the context of their relationship? What was the nature? What have you made of some of the books that have come out?
Well, I think that One Tragic Night can be considered the definitive book on this subject, because the research that Mandy and Barry did is top-notch. Also, it's interesting to note that there is additional research that has been uncovered that indicates that Riva and Oscar had more going on in a sensual way that would lead us down a path that might be, I don't know, quirky, perhaps is the way to say it. None of that was entered into evidence. None of that is known to anyone. And certain journalists have gotten a hold of these communiques. And so there's another story to be told there, really. And I'm not sure who and how it will be revealed, because it doesn't necessarily shed the best light on either one of those parties.
Looking at what you do, you know, looking at high-profile crimes. You've written a number of books, some of them turned into movies as well. You studied law and drama, if I'm not mistaken. How did you get into crime reporting, looking at crime and covering it?
My forte is really to get inside the mind of either a killer or to be part of the empathetic, have the empathy with a victim. It's just something that I think I'm born with. It's a calling. That's how I describe it. It happened when I was very young, losing my parents. And because of that, I've always had that, and they both died suddenly. So when someone loses someone suddenly, I immediately connect to that victim, first of all, that victim's family. And then because I've done this for 25 years, Sheldon, I have lived it in the courtrooms. I might as well have a law degree. Oftentimes I know more than the lawyers that I'm speaking on TV with, and it's odd to them because they can't believe. But I've been there so much. I've spent so much time in the courts.
Well, Oscar Pistorius may have been convicted and sentenced, but the questions, discussion, and controversy around the case still abound. Will there be more information that's revealed? Well, we'll just have to wait and see.